Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Marvel Legends Captain America Red Onslaught line. We're going to be opening up and checking out Demolition Man today. But before we get started, if you want to check out the other video we did, you guys can click this turd of a figure, this Sharon Carter, and let's move on. Alright, so as you guys can see, Demolition Man has a very uniquely molded and heavily articulated head. Very cool paint job. The silver on his head does cut right into the skin tones on his ear, but it is not a big deal. But as you all know, I am a sucker for accessories, so let's push him aside and check out these guns. This rifle here has some really intense molding features on it, but I really love the cartridges for the shotgun. I'm assuming it's a shotgun on the side. This knife was a little bent in package. It does have a nice little hand wrap on it and serrated edges at the base, which is cool. But my favorite right here is this pistol. Really boring colors, but otherwise well molded. And the best part about it is that they all fit in areas on Demolition Man's belt. So as you can see, that pistol goes in a holster. The knife has a slot in the back for him. And I know I messed this up, but this gun does fit pretty perfectly in his hands. I do finish it a little. He looks like a child holding a gun for the first time, but he is super cool, and you guys are going to see he is very easy to stand up and pose. I did notice that he did have a different painted kneecap, so a little wider of knee joints. I feel easier to stand. Arm movement is incredible. This part's really cool too. If you guys see, I know it's a little dark, but he's got an insanely detailed belt. Looks like a one over the shoulder ammunition belt on top, and then like storage belt on the bottom, but very cool, very detailed. It's loose, so it's not glued at any point on his body. His arms do move very, very well. No real rigid movement on this figure. Probably one of the easiest figures I've ever had to pose and really set in action poses, and you guys are going to see that in a hot second. All right, so as promised, here we are, standing Demolition Man up, and he is holding his gun a little better at this point, with the stock close to underneath his arm. But he does still have all of his accessories on. They're not heavily weighted, so it does make him insanely easy to stand up. Everything is very light. He's well molded and well weighted. I do mold him into a couple different positions, so just keep an eye on it. As you guys can see, he does have the hole in his back. We all know that's a remold. But he's got some great knee joints, and this is the first time I've ever really played with a figure in setting up in a video, because he was so insanely easy to manipulate and push into action poses. He's got a wide enough spread on his legs that you can pivot him perfectly. So as you guys can see, this is stuff I normally don't do in videos because it's a little harder to do and film for a live action show, and I'm really into him. Easily one of my favorite figures opening up thus far in this series. And the accessories make it all worth the while too. So I don't know if you guys got a good enough look even on his head or on his shoulders, but he's incredibly textured, and the silver paint is really well done. His mask has some like mouth slits that would otherwise be used for breathing through. Very cool though. His chest paint even, and his chest mold have a lot of different textures too. So even in the newer Legends lines, I've mentioned textured plastic a lot more, and I feel like Legends is really pushing the envelope with what they're doing with these figures. So yes, they'll be using body remolds, but they'll be adding onto them with different kinds of armor or accessories, or even I'm gonna say like costume attire, like this guy, like Demolition Man, having all these belts and having like a leg holster and knee pads and just nicer boots. He's just insanely cool and definitely a solid figure. I mean, look at him holding this pistol, and he's just movable, posable, and he owns everything about just being able to stand up, and that's something I'm really liking with him. Totally. This is the one complaint I will say, is I didn't put it in his other hand, but this knife does fit a little loosely in Demolition Man's right hand. So as you guys can see, I'll flick it a little bit over so even with a loose-fitting accessory, still not a make or break for me. But hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you guys think. Where does Demolition Man rank for you in this Captain America line? Thanks for checking out another video from the Geek Culture Podcast YouTube channel. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because we do a bunch of other different stuff. We do movies, television, video games, and even tech reviews. So hit that button if you haven't already, and check out our other social media. Thanks. See you guys next time.